How's it going, people? My name's Slig and I want to talk to you today about my experience playing Life is Strange. Now, I apologize for my voice in this video if it sounds a bit weird. I've just gotten over a cold, so please bear with me. This game I played recently was called Life is Strange, and it's an interesting game. I'm not usually into adventure games. Usually like games with like a lot of, hands-on gameplay, action, like first-person shooters, platformer games, stuff like that. But this game, being highly narratively driven, which you'd get that in games like Fallout, but this game is completely about decision making, and generally, all of your decisions you make in this game can be rewound. Like, you can go back, you can change your choices, which you can't do in most games. Once you've done it, you've done it. You can reload your game save and then do a different option, but this game actually plays with that mechanic of going back in time. So unlike games where you would just reload your game, this game will actually remember the future and then bring it back in time, so your character then has more information to provide to an alternative future. So you can actually change conversations from information you've picked up and all that. That's not a spoiler, that's just what you do in the game. You do that from pretty much the very beginning. You'll be, changing decisions, and the interesting thing about the game is you'll have the choice to change something. You might think, oh, I've made the wrong decision. You go back and change it, and you see the other outcome, and you start to think both outcomes never really had a definitive, perfect ending. And that was one of the weird things about the game, because I felt like, when I play these games, I'm trying to roleplay kind of like a choice I would make in the way I would do it. Because you can't actually say it the way you want to say it, or you do it in the exact way you want to do it, you just have like the few options the game gives you, and you just got to decide which one you preferred, which is awesome. But it's pretty limited when it comes to that stuff. I think generally the game overall, I've just played episode 4, and it's been really good. One thing I would say is, even if you have seen people playing the game a lot, or you've watched it on Twitch a bunch, like I watched episode 1 a few times on Twitch because I thought, do I want to buy this game? Do I think it looks good? I was like, I don't know, this game's a little unusual. I don't like adventure games, especially, like the concept and everything. I was like, I don't get this. It's like time travel, teenagers in school. I was like, I don't get this. Like, what could be good about this? And I mean, I was skeptical, but I thought, it had some good reviews, and being a drama game and all that, I just thought I'd give it a go. And yeah, it has some pretty emotional, sad parts in the game, but it's interesting. I really like what the developers did with the whole concept, and it's an investigation. Like, the whole game is an investigation, so. Yeah, very, very interesting. I would recommend it to anyone, really. I mean, I don't play these games, but I played through it and thought the story was pretty interesting. I mean, it has some great plot. And obviously, because to do a time travel, it's got multiple timelines as well. You can... there's just so many possibilities. It's like one of the first adventure games that you could go back and play and do things totally different and see a completely different ending to the game, essentially. But I mean, there's constraints between what can and can't affect the story too heavily. But you can, there are some small things, and then there's some bigger things. And I'm not going to give any spoilers exactly what they are, but they will heavily impact how you play the game and everything that happens. So yeah, I just say just check it out. I was completely blown away by the ending of episode 4. I was blown away at the ending of every episode. It's just that every episode so far has been getting progressively more interesting. So I'd say that when episode 5 comes out, hopefully by the end of this month, it should be pretty amazing. It's caught a lot of people by surprise, the story so far of this game, I mean, it starts off as a game that seems like it's got very straightforward, you know, everybody seems to get the game, and then it just gets deeper and deeper until you just, you know, you've got this crazy, awesome, complex story, and yeah, you basically drive it in your own direction. So yeah, great game. It was rated 10 out of 10 from a couple of reviewers, including Steam. That was rated 10 out of 10 on Steam, and I don't know what I'd rate it. It's hard to say because I don't play as many adventure games, but I mean, I've played Broken Sword and all that, and they were cool, and a couple of other indie games, but never quite played a game like this. So I think the innovation side of it, being time travel, choice making, you know, developing story based on your actions between episodes, yeah, I'd rate it quite highly. Well, I hope the game could have a sequel series, but you know, the kind of way the game works is it feels like it could only be played like this one way, unless it turns out there's some deeper story that nobody knows about, or there's a completely new side to the story. I don't know. I mean, it depends on whether or not episode 5 either rounds up the story or leaves some loose ends where a whole other series can take place. But you know, this game's been, you know, unraveling over the course of this year, so yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, I'm blabbering on about all this. You guys should check it out. You can get it on Steam, and yes, it's a fun game. Yeah. So yeah, as usual, my name is Sligstorm. I apologize for not uploading videos this week or the week before. I was on vacation, and then I got back and got ill, and I had no time. And well, actually, I did have time, but I didn't have a voice. And as you can still hear, my voice is not very great. So yeah, I had no choice but to do other things and plan for when I could make videos again. I do have some other videos that I'm lining up, some of which I'm not sure if I'm going to upload because they're not so great. But yeah, I don't know. If you found this video useful, give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe and comment for anything you want to say about anything to do with this video. Until next time, peace out, Sligs. My name's Sligstorm, and I'm going to be doing a gameplay video of my reaction to the first playthrough of Black Ops 3 the beta. Now, I say playthrough as if it's like a campaign, but I mean, I'm going to be basically downloading the game, playing it for the first time, and you're going to see my reactions, right? Okay.